Alright guys, so today I'm going to be explaining support and resistance and also supply and demand with ICC. We're going to start off with the higher time frame and I'm going to start off explaining support and resistance. So basically, overall, right, when you're marking out your levels with ICC, you're going to be marking out buyers and your sellers. It's the same thing to me. It's the same thing as support and resistance. Your buyers will be your support, and your sellers will be your resistance in the market. So the easiest way to find this is to go to the higher time frame because you can see it more clearly on the higher time frame, right? So you can see right here at 295, anything above 295, price was using it as a support. You can tell that price was using this as a support level because when price came back down to this level, we had no body candle closes within this range on higher time frame. And also as well, this was once a resistance level because at one point in time, price wasn't making no candle body closes on the higher time frame above this level. So like Sai says, anything above will be support and anything below a level would be resistance, right? So this resistance level, we ended up getting an indication above, price came back down, used this level as support, pushed back, and it pushed all the way up to new highs, right? So boom, that's one way that we can find our support and resistance level. It should be fairly easy. All you gotta do is just find out where the market is just not making no candle body closes under, that's your support, and where the market is not making no candle body closes above, that's your resistance, right? The same thing will be applied to every time frame, no matter the time frame. You'll see it on any time frame, literally. So let's go to December the 18th, Thursday, and I'm gonna put you in the mindset on when I took this trade and when I took this other trade um, yesterday, on December the 19th, Friday. So when I took this trade, we can see that price during London session and New York Power Hour, we can see that we made new all-time highs during that day, right? Price came all the way up to 410 or 409, but we didn't have no body candle close until like 394. You can see that later on in that New York session, price came back down, all the way down to 357, and then we built like a support back to support and resistance. You can see that we built a support right here because we wasn't breaking this level at one point, and we also built a resistance because we wasn't making no new higher highs. This is the no trade zone. Don't trade this at all. But you can see that later on during Asia session, this level started to break. This support level started to break. So I entered on this once I seen that one, we wasn't making no new higher highs, and two, that sellers was just overall stronger than the buyers during this range, right? So soon we got up under 357, I entered the trade. So this technically in ICC eyes, this would be me entering on a correction. You might say, well, why is that? Because you can see that we just made new, we just went to all-time highs, right? So eventually price is going to want to go back to these all-time highs that we just made. But I was so confident on entering on this correction because I already knew the next spot where buyers were, because they were sitting right here at 338. You may say, well, how you know that? Because when price came back down to this support range, you can see that we had a strong amount of buying pressure, so strong to the point that it came down, it wicked down here, and then we didn't have no body candle close until we came back until 359 to 365. That right there was enough information for me to be like, okay, there's a lot of buying pressure right here. On top of that, this support level, this whole support level, is the same support level that we've been playing off the whole week. You can see that anytime price came to this level, that price was literally using this as a support level. Support, resistance level. You see it's just dribbling back and forth until we got an indication above it made new all-time highs. So this is why I was so confident on entering this trade. Another thing, I know Sai says never to enter on corrections, but you got to think the way I like to think about it is like this. Everybody got a different strategy, right? But in some type of term, everybody uses the word continuation. I even heard ICT traders use the word continuation, right? So, excuse me. So they could see something in this trade that ICC traders don't see. It could have been a fair value gap, a SMT divergence. It could have been anything, right? But it was enough confluences for them to take this trade. I just went off of two confluences because at the end of the day, ICC, you're not really doing nothing. You're just trading per structure, per price action, right? So I seen that we had an indication, small indication of up under, and that we sold, like literally when I got in, I think price came back up, corrected back up, but soon when we tested this level, the level was so strong because at one point this level didn't want to break. You see what I'm saying? So when we came back to even test this level, we broke, came back, tested, we didn't even close above this level no more. So the next spot that we can only go to is these buyers down here. That's another thing I want y'all to remember. Sellers are going to go to buyers, and buyers are going to go to sellers every time. That's how the market moves. Don't make it difficult. That's literally how the market moves. So you can see that when price came back down here to buyers, what's the next thing that we're going to do? Overall, we're going to go right back to sellers. You might say, where are the net sellers? The net sellers are right here. Eventually, price is going to touch 394. We might not have did it Friday because this was my TP target, 394. But I had to end up taking partials because we had a lot of resistance. I took partials up here. Somewhere around here, I took partials. So just remember that sellers are going to go to buyers, buyers are going to go to sellers. Now, that's the support and resistance part, right? Now we finna get into supply and demand. This is how me and Chris find our entries while using ICC. We use supply and demand, basically. So it's easy to find. To me, I'm gonna make it easy for you guys to find your supply and demand setups the same way how we find our supply and demand setups. So basically, we use the candle close before price made a big volume push down. That would be your supply, because supply is selling, demand is buying, right? So we're on the 15-minute time frame. We can see that price came to 376. When price came to 376, the next candle that opened for sellers, we had a big push down all the way back down to this support level, right? You can see that we wicked the support level, came back above, and we was right about above buyers. The previous candle close before buyers sent price up. That's your demand level. So this right here at 299 would be a demand level. You can't see it on a small time frame. Guess what? Go to a higher time frame. The same thing will literally show on a higher time frame. Hold on, let me find it. Lord, where that thing? Where it was? I can't, well, now why I can't find it? Okay, hold on. But yeah, the same thing will literally show on the Oh, here you go. The same thing will literally show on a higher time frame. You can see right here, higher time frame. Price came to 300. The last candle closed before price took a big move to the upside. Boom. Only thing we did was what? We went to literally a resistance level. I already had this level marked out. This is a resistance level. So buyers are going to go to sellers. Guess what? Sellers are going to go right back to buyers. That's how the market moves. Do not make this hard. So I don't think I traded GC this day, but if I was to trade GC this day, I would have seen this. I would have been like, okay, boom, price is correcting back to where it previously dumped from, which would have been 368 higher time frame. I'm looking at it hourly, so I would scale down. I would look for that same supply area. You can see that it'll still show the previous candle close before price took that big downfall. All you got to do just keep going down to the smaller time frame. It'll you this way when you keep going down to the smaller time frame, you can get a better entry point. See on the 5 minute, instead of it being down here at 376, you could have got a scalp entry and got in at 381. You would have got tagged in, set a limit sell, put your stops above the wick above. You probably been risking like 200 $300, and you could have literally took this and put it. You could have swung this trade all the way back down to where buyers was. I guarantee that it touched it. Literally, look, came all the way back down to buyers. That could have been a banger trade right there. And you only risk $200 $300. This is how we get those scalp entries with ICC. We use supply and demand. Do not make this hard. Please do not make this hard. So, supply and demand, and we use support and resistance. Basically, that is how we find our entries. But we really find our entries using supply and demand. Support and resistance is just how we find out what the sellers are and the buyers. We just don't say support and resistance, but it's really support and resistance at the end of the day. So, I hope this is simple for you guys. I hope I cleared up some things for you guys. And if I didn't, you can always get with me. I am free. I will help you guys understand it to the best of my ability that I can with teaching. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a good day.